One of life's biggest questions is what happens to us when we die? Well, who better to speak to than the cast of Amazon Prime Video's Upload, Mr. Robbie Amell, Mr. Andy Allo, and Mr. Greg Daniels. Hello to all.
Hey.
I already feel bad. I think I called you Mr. Andy Allo, so I apologize.
It happens all the time. Yeah, that's actually how I prefer to be addressed.
It's wonderful to speak to you all. And my first question goes to Mr. Andy. Mr. Andy, the other week you actually tweeted out an image of you. The caption was, Greg, I thought you were going over the scene, not your Animal Crossing closet. Hashtag Upload TV. So were you outing Greg Daniels as a New Horizons Islander, or are you, in fact, the true fan?
I think I was outing Greg. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Greg. You told me that in confidence, and I apologize.
Greg, you're an Animal Crossing fan.
What? Can't hear.
No, okay, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
You know what?
I'm so like, all right, just to go down. I don't know what Animal Crossing is. I'm not on Twitter. I didn't see Andy's post. I'm so oblivious of this entire conversation. Well,
so Andy, you are an Animal Crossing player.
I am. You know what, Robbie? I need you to relax right now. It reminds me because when I was like growing up, this might age me, but like Neopets was like my jam, and I feel like Animal Crossing is like the upgraded version of Neopets. Okay. It was an online
Robbie,
game.
you are Andy's Neopet on the show, in a way.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, the best thing about the world that you've created, Greg, in Upload is that it really integrates with video games so well. It really is the ultimate virtual reality, if you will. And then you throw in Existential Crisis and you mix it in there. So what kind of video game could you see? Well, maybe not, Greg, because I know you maybe gaming isn't your strong suit. But what kind of video game world would you like to
school, like I did a lot of Call of Duty. That was my game. And so a lot of times I'm referencing that in my head, what that's like. And when we first started with the show, we were like, how are we going to do this? Should we program a virtual world for Lakeview? And, you know, it was slightly out of our range at the time, a couple of years ago when we were shooting the pilot. Now, what's really interesting is this Unreal Engine. I don't know if you're aware of that, but it's a way to take gaming engines and turn them into the backgrounds behind TV shows. So it's how they shot The Mandalorian. So now we're looking into recreating the show using possibly one of these Unreal Engines, which would mean actually making a gaming version of Lakeview to shoot some of the scenes there.
Andy and Robbie, is this like the first time you're hearing about this and what you're going to go into for season 2?
I watched a special on The Mandalorian, but I did not know we were doing anything along those lines. That sounds awesome.
Well, I'm not sure we are. We're looking into it, but Greg, I don't know how it works with people in the background.
It's done. It's happening.
No, you heard it here.
Thank you.
We're doing
wow. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't say something to the actors. Now they want it. But the one thing that's really stayed with me from the seasons, we have to talk about the hug suit. So obviously you guys must get asked this all the time. The way I picture, Greg, you actually coming up with the hug suit is that you've got just pages and sketches. And I feel like you really went conspiracy theory. There's just like a wall of hug suit. How is it going to work and what's going to be in it? Can you describe how it works to our viewers?
Yes. I have a lot of drawings. I have a lot of backstory on the hug suit. The very important thing is that there's thousands of little inflatable fingers on the inside. So if you were to split one in half and open it up, it would look like the inside of a fig. That's one of the drawings that I sent to the costume designer. So it's very,
wow.
And each one of those little fingers is capable of being hydraulically inflated at different pressure levels. And that's where you get the the real nuances of what things feel like.
Now, in the first season, there's for anyone that hasn't seen, I won't spoil it, but there's a really fun cameo from somebody who appeared in The Office. How did that come about?
Well, that was that whole sequence of the download was something that my son Owen wrote. He was the proponent of the download, and he had been a kid on the set of The Office and was pushing for Creed to play the guy who's downloaded for that sequence. And I thought it was hilarious because the whole thing is you don't get that much time with him, and so much of it's on his face, just realizing that he's back on Earth. And so it needed to have somebody with a very expressive face, and Creed was really the best we could think of.
Final question for you, Greg. Upload is set in 2033, which is obviously 13 years from now. I'm pretty good at math. My question is, in your science future, has there been a reboot of The Office yet?
Ooh.
Wow. I don't know. That's a really good question. We got to have some of the characters check their TV listings and see if there was a unsuccessful misfire reboot of The Office that was briefly in 2026.
Just have somebody scrolling through the
reunion.
channels and just come across it.
Or there's like a reunion because they're all uploaded and we get to watch it and tune in.
We know where Creed is. We know Creed's not in the reunion.
True.
Well, all of you, it was wonderful to speak to you all. I can't wait for season 2. And if you want to check out, go and watch it on Amazon Prime Video. Upload is available now.